A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, Patricia and David, ZMH 286 from winter. Yep, we really have had to agree that it's definitely winter here. The morning temperatures are such that it's really hard to get out of bed, but whoever gets out first does put the heater on. We've had it calm-ish all day. There's a little bit of wind. It's about 6 knots from the west now. It was northwest earlier on. 15 degrees, which I suppose could be worse, and 1021, pretty steady, and 100%. There's not much around, but it's a couple of bits of strata Q up there and a bit of lower stuff, alto stratus, but it's just a bit messy in the skies and cold. It fools you, you look outside, and this morning it was quite blue and calm, and then you poke your nose out the door and think, oh boy, I'd rather be in Townsville. Okay, a bit of good news though has come from Scoots down there in Falanga. Thank you, Carol and Daryl. We have got good news for the Fijians anyway. The boat that was on the reef, their patrol boat, is now off the reef. Earlier today it got spun around by wave action so that it was facing out, and the large tug that was there, had been there for a week, managed to tow it off, and it is now sitting in the southwest corner of Ogia, probably getting prepared to go back to Australia. So I don't know how bad it is or how long that will take, but at least it's now off the reef, so no eyesore in Falanga, back to its normal pristine beauty. Thank you very much, Daryl, and hope you guys are enjoying it down there. We've certainly appreciated the news from the activity going on. So that's about it for news, except for the fact that Alula, I think it was you guys that asked me about Kauri. Well, they have appeared on the AIS now. So let's go to Alula, Gulf Harbour Radio.
Gulf Harbour Radio, this is Alula, our copy.
Yeah, very good copy, Jimmy. It's been pretty good the last couple of days. And it was you. If that was Kauri, the small red ketch, was that the one you were looking for over?
Yeah, absolutely looking for Kauri. We are in touch with them with the Garmin Mini, but I also have to thank Barry for the awesome radio setup, over.
Yeah, I wonder if he's listening to us from over the ocean there. Yeah, no, it's really working very well. Yep, and Kauri are there. I won't give you their position because it's 11 hours old. Well, I don't know what their AIS is, but it's quite an old spot. So anyway, at least they're featuring on the AIS. Okay, go ahead with your position, because I know your land crew and fan club here will be listening. Go ahead.
Thank you, Patricia. So Alula's position is 28 degrees 59 south, 178 degrees 31 east. Our heading is 15 degrees true. We're doing a very slow speed of 3.5 knots. Our wind speed is about 8 knots from the south-southeast. Swell about 1 metre from the southeast. Cloud cover 20%. And our bar is about 1014, over.
Okay, God, what perfect conditions tonight. I wish it was like this all the time. Alula, Jimmy and Gemma are at 2859 south, 17831 east, on a course of 015 true, rocking along at 3.5 knots. 8 knots of south-southeast, a 1 metre southeast swell, 20% cloud cover, 1014. Well, at least you're sailing, and what a beautiful day it sounds, over.
Yeah, it has been a lovely day. We've been wing and wing again. We are about to start the iron sail to help us out through the night, just to chug along. We have got a very small fish on board, but Gemma wanted me to tell you that. Paddy probably wants to hear that, but it was very small, so nothing to brag about, over.
Well, as long as it's edible, and we always think that the smaller ones are more tasty. So, and there's only 2 of you on board, so there you go. And you'll have time to get another one soon. All right, it sounds pretty good. Wing on wing sailing, I like that. It just looks pretty spectacular, and with the only the small swell, which I presume is getting to be a pretty long period now, it should be pretty comfortable. But you're about to start the engine. All right, have a very good evening, you two, and we'll catch you again tomorrow. Over.
Thank you very much, Patricia. Has David seen anything we need to look out for, by the way, over?
I don't know. Let's ask him. Usually today he spends more time. We head off to the range today, but I'll see what he's got to say.
Yeah, today's shooting day at our local gun club, so I didn't take a whole lot of time looking, but I did look while you folks were just chatting a minute ago. And tomorrow I see the wind backing. I may have mentioned that yesterday, but anyhow, it looks like it's going to be out of the north, maybe northeast. Not strong. Pretty much what you've got today, about 10 knots. About 10 knots. You're almost in the middle of the high, not smack dab in the middle, but there's only one isobar around you and the center of the high, so not much there at all. I'll see if anything changes for Tuesday, and it does. The wind, well, 2 things happen. That high that I just mentioned starts to move east a little bit. It's a 1026, 1027 millibar, so it's a medium strength high, but it is moving. And just behind it is the isobars from a depression that's to the south. So they are going to merge by Tuesday, and let's see how much rain we're going to get out of this. Yeah, you're probably going to get a light trough on Tuesday. This is about lunchtime. Just showers. There is not anything major. There is a cold front behind that that is moving in your direction, but that won't be there for a while. But anyway, Tuesday, that's what you're going to have. And the wind is going to be at that point probably northwest. So it continues to back, and it's falling downhill from the high, and it continues to go downhill into the depths of the depression. So that's the direction that it's being forced. So no big deal. Just some clouds, drizzle, and maybe catch another fish. Over.
Thank you very much. That sounds amazing. We don't do too bad in light winds, especially when there's no swells, as I guess everyone does. But yeah, that sounds awesome, and we'll continue to fish and try and do something a little better. Thank you so much for the intel.
All right, yep, and I'm sure the fish will get bigger the warmer the water gets as you go north. I don't know whether that's a philosophy accepted or not, but we'll wait and see. All right, we'll clear with Alula and head to Rubicon, who actually, from their noon email today, they saw a whale blowing in the distance, so that was pretty spectacular to see. I'll just see if they're on frequency. Rubicon, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, Rubicon, how copy?
Ooh, blowing my ears off, Elizabeth. This is fantastic. Go ahead, over.
Roger, Rubicon is the 3007 south, 17927 east. We're traveling at about 5.9 knots. Our course is, 35 true, and let's see, wind speed, wind is 0 to 6 knots, maybe south of the main speed state. Maybe it's laid down quite a bit, maybe a meter, and suddenly as well clouds, I'm going to say 50%. It's been beautiful, okay?
I know, it does look rather good. 3007 south, 17927 east, a Rubicon on a course of 035 true, 5.9 with I presume the engine on. Nothing much in way of wind, 0 to 6 knots, and I suspect it's going to be even less when we talk to Jean on the rider. 1 metre and very low 50% cloud cover, but otherwise an absolutely beautiful day. Wow, and I bet the temperature's not 15 degrees like we've got at the moment. Over.
Yeah, roger that. It's not tropical yet, but it's just perfect, okay?
All right, well, you would have heard David talking about the weather, so who knows, you might get a bit of a wash down by the sound of it, but otherwise nothing to worry about on your particular course. Have a good night, you and Matt, and we'll talk again tomorrow. So we'll clear with Rubicon and go to further south to Narida, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, Narida, how copy, please?
Yeah, very good copy, Jen. Go ahead.
Okay, my position of present is 30 degrees, 57 minutes south, 175 degrees, 41 minutes east, on a course of 013 at 7.0 knots, motoring in south-southwest wind of 3 knots, that's 123 knots, cloud cover about 90%, and the barometer, this swell is still coming from the southeast. I thought I took 2 meters earlier, but it is about 1.5 still, very low, very slow, long swell to the southeast, and the barometer is 1022, over.
Okay, Narida, which doesn't have a rooster tail behind it, 3057 south, 17541 east on a course of 013 true towards Fiji, 7 knots motoring. Well, that looks better than what's on the AIS at the moment, which had you before the engine went on. South-southwest, 3 knots, 90% cloud cover, 1.5 southeast long period swell, and 1022. So you'll just have to get used to the engine noise overnight, I guess. Jan, over.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had a very lovely calm morning. It's been very, very showery, lots and lots of light showers everywhere. So we have got a little bit wet from time to time. And one of the showers actually made me think that the wind was in the southeast, but that was just a cloud effect. And the wind, as soon as I took my delay and taken down my pole, the wind went back to the southwest. So then died completely. I mean, it's nothing. So then I put the motor, I put it on till about, I think 4 o'clock. 3 or 4 o'clock, after 3 o'clock. So I don't know what's the, yeah, I've had the motor now, obviously, over.
Okay, copy that. And, well, moving you north a little bit, say up around 29 south, maybe 29:30, and you're not going too fast, so I'm not sure about that. We'll keep your longitude fairly close to what you gave us. The winds look like they're going to be northerly quadrant, out of the north, give or take degrees either side of that. Not very strong at all. I would say probably in the neighborhood of 10 knots as a mean wind. Will be higher if you do run into a series of cloud clusters, but it doesn't look like there is much in that at all. And you are near the center of the high as well. Not the center, but you're within the single isobar that surrounds the center. Does that sound Irish? I don't know. Anyway, that's about what you're going to have tomorrow from what I can see. So pleasant conditions, but the wind probably not in the direction that you want. Over.
Yeah, okay, thanks a lot, David. Yeah, well, that's partly why I'm heading north now, because looking at the wind ahead, if I get north now, then I can turn to starboard a bit when the wind is heading me. So hopefully, I don't know about this Fiji. I could well go to my I'm aiming at Tonga via Minerva, and I just had a friend in England come to me and say, oh, there's a big loan forming just as you're going to get to Minerva, maybe give it a skip. So we'll see when we get closer what the conditions are, over.
Yep, roger that. No, I just guessed on Fiji because of the, you're quite well west of folks, but yep, play it by ear. It's pretty light and you'll have plenty of time to think. All right, we'll clear with Narida and just see if there's anybody else wanting to make contact. Please call. Belina, good evening to you both. Benno, hi to Marlene, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Patricia and David. This is the reef here in our pool and all well on board, but we have strong winds from the southeast. The wind shift came much earlier this morning, so I think at least 8 or 10 hours earlier than predicted according to GSS models. So from 10 this morning we got sudden south-southeast wind with 25 knots, gusting 30 knots, and we are sitting now in the southeast corner and have 20 knots the whole day from the southeast. Over.
Okay, I'll just repeat that in case you're too close to others. David's having a look. The southeast change came much earlier than expected. This morning they got 25 gusting 30. So Belina is now in the southeast corner where it's still blowing 20 knots. So I guess they didn't do too much away from the boat. Stand by.
Yeah, well, I think I mentioned to you, Benno, about that frontal band, and you were on the edge of it when we talked last. And from what I can see as we speak now, still on the edge, closer to the middle of it, the axis of it, I guess would be the best way to put it. And let me take a look at tomorrow. Yeah, you will be pretty much in the center of or near the center of the axis of the front. It is a front, and about where you are there will be some thunderstorms, possibly. From what I can see, the cloud forecast is for fairly high, fairly cold clouds, and that is an indicator of CBs and squalls. So I don't think it's going to be a very nice day tomorrow, but well, at least the boat gets washed off, I suppose. And the winds, yes, will be southeast, and if they are high clouds, yes, your gusts will very easily be 25 to 30, no question about that. In between those big ones that happen to be moving out of the way, over you and then out of the way, it slacks off until another cluster comes over. So it'll be a mix and a mash of different types of clouds and conditions. Over.
Thank you, David, very much. It's a very good anchorage here. It's very comfortable here, no problem. So we will wait and probably in a couple of days we will continue further effect to the west. Over.
Oh, okay, you're going to think about heading west, backwards again. So yeah, it's interesting your comments about it being a very good anchorage, because very few people go to Beveridge, and it's probably, well, I know you're enjoying it being there by yourselves, but it sounds like a good spot to wait things out if you need to. So interesting, although I would tell people that Belina is a catamaran, which tends to be a bit more comfortable if it is a bit swelly, but it doesn't sound as if it has much swell inside the reef at all. Benno, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, it's maybe half a meter, but it's all coming from in front, and so it's very comfortable here, no problem. And the holding is perfect, on perfect stand bottom here. We anchor on 3 meters, and no problem from it at all here. So really very good anchorage. Over.
Oh, that's interesting to hear. I'm sure people will be interested in that. They're anchored over sand in 3 meters and less than a half a metre swell with those strong southeasterly winds. Okay, thank you for that, Benno, and you guys have a good night, and we'll see what the winds bring in a couple of days. Is there anybody else for Gulf Harbour? Aha, there's Iron Maiden from Port Vila. Hello, Margaret.
Yeah, hello. We're still home quite windy today, so we opted to stay hopefully outside Flamingo Island, and Peter will be there tomorrow morning, over.
Oh, that's interesting because I couldn't find you there. I'm just going back to Erromango, but I couldn't find your AIS. That's interesting. Maybe, have you got your AIS on because you're not showing up, over? Yeah, that will look fairly funny. Sometimes for a laugh, we've got a little portable Chinese AIS and I take it away in my kayak sometimes, and it's quite fun to see it go up rivers and back again. Okay, well, this is very interesting because I still don't have you anywhere jiggling about on my AIS, so I'm going to have a bit of a fossick around as to why that might be. Okay, all right, well, you're still jiggling around, but I'm wondering how the repair is going. How did John handle the repair, over?
Yes, unfortunately, that tried to drill into the stainless steel rocket and go over.
Oh, okay, all righty. Oh, well, it was worth a try though, so you'll have to just do your best and go in with good daylight tomorrow, and good luck on that. But looks like you'll have decent conditions to go in anyway, and you'll probably anchor outside before you go in through the township to the buoy area. So good luck, and have a safe arrival, and it's been good talking to you, Margaret. So have a great time in our favourite island group, over.
We will. Thanks very much, Patricia David, for the past 4 months we've been trying to keep going, and yes, we will talk to you again when we return back to New Zealand, over.
Yep, roger that. Okay, well, we'll clear with Iron Maiden, still jiggling around Erromango. I bet they've caught a fish. I didn't think to ask, but boy, there's a lot of fish around Erromango, so they won't be starving, that's for sure. Okay, everybody, the frequency's all yours if you want it. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, and we are clear. We'll be back tomorrow night. Cheers all. Better just check the streaming before I turn it on. Oh, Zemax is there. 40 boats. Good Lord. 40 boats at Whakarava. Wow, 40 boats in Whakarava. Can you believe it?
In
That
where?
must be an awful lot of boats coming. Tour motors
Oh.
in Whakarava.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's amazing.